And today, I wanted to do this fun terms of service whisper reading for max relaxation, as this topic will be quite boring, but informative, and I haven't read it, and I definitely want to give my own opinions and chat a little bit about it. So come and relax with me, hang out with me, fall asleep. Put your phone down as I read Google's terms of service. Link to the terms of service in the description, as always. So it says it's effective January 5th, 2022, and there are archived versions, and this is specifically for the United States. It says, what is covered in these terms? We know it's tempting to skip these terms of service, but it's important to establish what you can expect from us as you use Google services and what we expect from you. These terms of service reflect the way Google's business works, the laws that apply to our company, and certain things we've always believed to be true. As a result, these terms of service help define Google's relationship with you as you interact with our services. For example, these terms include the following topic headings. What you can expect from us, which describes how we provide and develop our services. What we expect from you, which establishes certain rules for using our services. Content in Google services, which describes the intellectual property rights to the content you find in our services, whether that content belongs to you, Google, or others. And lastly, in case of problems or disagreements, which describes other legal rights you have, and what to expect in case someone violates these terms. Understanding these terms is important because by using our services, you're agreeing to these terms. Besides these terms, we also publish a privacy policy. We encourage you to read it to better understand how you can update, manage, export, and delete your information. Okay. Nice overview. Terms. Service provider. Google services are provided by and you're contracting with Google LLC, organized under the laws of the state of Delaware, of course, USA, and operating under the laws of the USA. 1600 Amphitheater Parkway, Mountain View, California, 94043 USA. Age requirements. If you're under the age required to manage your own Google account, you must have your parent or legal guardian's permission to use a Google account. Please have your parent or legal guardian read these terms with you. If you're a parent or legal guardian and you allow your child to use the services, then Okie dokie, okie dokie, let's keep going. Your relationship with Google. These terms help define the relationship between you and Google. Broadly speaking, we give you permission to use our services if you agree to follow these terms, which reflect how Google's business works and how we earn money. When we speak of Google, we, us, and our, we mean Google LLC and its affiliates. Okay, so I didn't mention this, but there's a lot of hyperlinks in this, and I'm kind of like, you want me to go off and look at the hyperlinks, or do you want me to just read the terms? Like, just give me everything that you want me to know in here, not like a laundry list of things to read. I am going to click on, though, it says, when it said, which reflect how Google's business works and how we earn money, I'm going to click on that link. Okay, it says how our business works. Ads help fund our products. Our mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible, and useful has always been to the core of everything we do at Google. That's why we make so many of our products like search, maps, and Gmail accessible and free of charge to everyone. Advertising is what makes it possible to offer our products to everyone. While we sell things like Pixel phones, apps on the Play Store, YouTube subscriptions, and tools for businesses, we make the vast majority of our money from advertising. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that? You know what they say? It's like, if something is free, then you're the product that they're selling. So how does advertising at Google work? We make money selling ad space to businesses, big and small, global and local, in two key ways. First, businesses can reach potential customers by showing ads on a range of Google products such as search, maps, and YouTube. Second, businesses can buy ad space that we can show on sites and apps that partner with us, like news publications and blogs. Okay, in this case, most of the money goes to the partner to help fund their content. So ads not only help support Google, but also many other websites and creators. Ultimately, we earn most of our money by showing ads alongside relevant search results on Google.com. If you're interested, you can learn more about how we make money with advertising. Another link, just another hyperlink in this already linked article that I was reading from the terms. Anyway, they go on to say, we don't sell your personal information to anyone. We use your personal information to make our products more helpful to you. It's how we can autocomplete your searches, get you home faster with maps, or show you more useful ads based on your interests. But we never sell your personal information to anyone, and you can use many of our products without signing in or saving any personal information at all. When we show ads, advertisers pay us either for the placement of an ad, like a banner at the top of a web page, or for how an ad actually performs, like when someone clicks on it. Advertisers do not pay us for personal information, such as your name or email, and we never share that information with advertisers unless you ask us to. We also never use your emails, documents, photos, or sensitive information like race, religion, or sexual orientation to personalize ads to you. We share reports with our advertisers to help them understand the performance of their ads, but we do so without revealing any of your personal information. At every point in the process of showing you ads, we keep your personal information protected with industry-leading security technologies. seeing a given ad, you can select why this ad for more information. If you no longer find a specific ad relevant, you can mute it. You can use ad settings to control the information about you that's used to show ads. And if you don't want to see personalized ads at all, you can turn them off at any time. Because of advertising, we're able to offer our products to users around the world free of charge, helping people find answers and get things done. But when you use our products, you trust us with your personal information. That's why we never sell personal information and why we give you powerful privacy controls. It's a responsibility that comes with creating products that are accessible for everyone, everywhere. I found that quite interesting because I'm in the advertising business. So we do use Google a lot. And although they're not selling people's names, emails, phone numbers, they're finding you in a variety of signals. Because to a company, it doesn't matter who specifically you are, but if you're doing a bunch of things that are relevant, that's why they'll target you. It's a slippery slope, they'd say. Anyway, back to the terms of service page. Okay, it says so that was we give you permission to use our services if you agree to follow these terms, which reflect how Google's business works and how we earn money. So that side article is just about how they earn money through ads. And what they don't explicitly say, they say oh, we can also put ads on other publishers' sites and they get most of the money. It's a big part of advertising is using these big companies like Google and Yahoo who own or have access to ad space on other people's websites, but in a conglomerate. So it's oh, I want to target people who are interested in traveling or whatever, and then they can put ads on Expedia and travel blogs, stuff like that. I'm sure people get the money, the publishers themselves, but even if Google takes 1% from every single ad they sell, it amasses to a lot if you have a huge network of publishers that you can get access to and serve ads on. So they say it so nonchalantly, oh, we can put banner ads on blogs and stuff, but the blog gets the money. Yeah, so they're obviously taking a portion of that, and that I feel ends up fueling so much of the revenue. Besides ads on their own services like Google search, YouTube, Gmail. I feel a lot of revenue that they're making are literally putting ads on other people's sites. But anyway, I'm not sure, and I'm not one to speculate here, but interesting. But anyway, moving into the what you can expect from us section. Provide a broad range of useful services. We provide a broad range of services that are subject to these terms, including apps and sites like search and maps, platforms like Google Shopping, integrated services like maps embedded in other companies' apps or sites, devices like Google Nest. Many of these services also include content that you can stream or interact with. Our services are designed to work together, making it easier for you to move from one activity provide you with simultaneous translations and to better detect and block spam and malware. As part of this continual effort and continual improvement, we sometimes add or remove features and functionalities, increase or decrease limits to our services, and start offering new services or stop offering old ones. A service requires or include when a service requires or includes downloadable software. That software sometimes updates automatically in your device once a new version or feature is available. Some services let you adjust your automatic update settings. If we make material changes that negatively impact your use of our services, or if we stop offering a service, we'll provide you with reasonable advance notice, except in urgent situations such as preventing abuse, responding to legal requirements, or addressing security and operability issues. We'll also provide you with an opportunity to export your content from your Google account using Google Takeout, subject to applicable laws and policies. Okay, that was pretty nebulous. What we expect from you. Follow these terms and service-specific additional terms. The permission we give you to use our services continues as long as you comply with these terms and service-specific additional terms, which could, for example, include things like additional aid requirements. You also agree that our privacy policy applies to your use of our services. Additionally, we provide resources like Copyright Help Center, Safety Center, and descriptions of our technologies from our policies to answer common questions and to set expectations about using our services. Although we give you permission to use our services, we retain any intellectual property rights we have in the services. Next section is respect others. Respect. We want to maintain a respectful environment for everyone, which means you must follow these basic rules of conduct. Comply with applicable laws, including export control sanctions and human trafficking laws. Respect the rights of others, including privacy and intellectual property rights. Don't abuse or harm others or yourself, or threaten or encourage such abuse or harm. For example, by misleading, defrauding, illegally impersonating, defaming, bullying, harassing, or stalking others. Don't abuse, harm, interfere with, or disrupt the services. For example, by accessing or using them in fraudulent or deceptive ways, introducing malware or spamming, hacking, or bypassing our systems or protective measures. When we index the web to bring you search results, we respect standard usage restrictions that website owners specify in their website's code, so we require the same when others use our services. Our service-specific additional terms and policies provide additional details about appropriate conduct that everyone using those services must follow. If you find that others aren't following these rules, many of our services allow you to report abuse. If we act on a report of abuse, we also provide the process described in Taking Action in Case of Problems section. I feel like I don't have a lot of commentary because everything has been so nebulous, really. Permission to use your content. Content. Some of our services are designed to let license to do so and that the content is lawful. There goes on a section about licenses, about content. I'm actually just going to skip over this though. Because it's just like about make sure you have a license to distribute whatever content you post. Using Google services, your Google account, if you meet these age requirements. Okay, I'm gonna finally click on it to see what age requirements there are. There are different age requirements for different countries. It says for all countries not listed below, 13 is the minimum age to manage your own Google account. If you meet these age requirements, you can create a Google account for your convenience. Some services require that you have a Google account in order to work. Example, to use Gmail, you need a Google account so you have a place to send and receive your email. You're responsible for what you do with your Google account, including taking reasonable steps to keep your Google account secure, and we encourage you to regularly use the security checkup. Use Google services on behalf of an organization or business. Many organizations, such as businesses, non-profits, and schools, take advantage of our services. To use our services on behalf of an organization, an authorized representative of that organization must agree to these terms, and your organization's administrator may assign a Google account to you. That administrator might require you to follow additional rules and may be able to access or disable your Google account. Okay. Service-related communications. To provide you with our services, we sometimes send you service announcements and other information. To learn more about how we communicate with you, see Google's privacy policy. If you choose to give us feedback, such as suggestions to improve our services, we may act on your feedback without obligation to you. Content in Google services. Your content. Sometimes our services give you the opportunity to make your content publicly available. For example, you might post a product or restaurant review that you wrote, or might upload a blog post that you created. See the permissions to use your content section for more about your rights in your content and how your content is used in our services. And see removing your content section to learn why and how we might remove user-generated content from our services. If you think someone is infringing your intellectual property rights, you can send us a notice of infringement and we'll take appropriate action. For example, we suspend or close the Google accounts of repeat copyright infringers as described in our Copyright Help Center. Okay. Google content. Some of our services include content that belongs to Google. For example, many of the visual illustrations you see in Google Maps. You may use Google's content as allowed by these terms and any service-specific additional terms, but we retain any intellectual property rights that we have in our content. Don't remove, obscure, or alter any of our branding, logos, or legal notices. If you want to use our branding or logos, please see Google Brand Permissions page. Other content. Finally, some of our services give you access to content that belongs to other people or organizations. For example, a store owner's description of their business or a newspaper article displayed in Google News. You may not use this content without that person or organization's permission or as otherwise allowed by the law. The views expressed in other people or organizations' content are theirs and don't necessarily reflect Google's views. Software in Google services. Some of our services include downloadable software. We give you permission to use that software as a part an example of Google services that include downloadable software. I'm not sure what they're referencing here. This is the in case of problems or disagreements. Warranty disclaimer: we built our reputation on providing useful, reliable services like Google Search and Maps, and we're continuously improving our services to meet your needs. However, for legal purposes, we offer our services without warranties unless explicitly stated in our service-specific additional terms. The law requires that we explain this using specific legal language, and that we use capital letters to help make sure you see it as follows. Okay, so this part's in all caps. To the extent allowed by applicable law, we provide our services as is without any express or implied warranties, including the implied warranties of merchantability, fitness for a particular purpose, and non-infringement. For example, we don't make any warranties about the content or features of the services, including their accuracy, reliability, availability, or ability to meet your needs. Okay. It's like more stuff that I'm not really sure how this applies. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of towards the ends of this. And if I didn't go off and read about how Google makes money through advertising in that article, I probably would have wrapped this up sooner, but I feel like there's not too much in here in terms of things that I'm like, oh, okay, so this is what I'm signing away to when I use Google. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so I guess I'm not really reading too deeply into these like exaggerated words that they just keep repeating over and over again. Liabilities for all users. By the law and these terms, both the law and these terms try to strike a balance as to what you or Google can claim from the other in case of problems. That's why the law allows us to limit certain liabilities, but not others under these terms. These terms only limit our responsibilities as allowed by applicable law. These terms don't limit liability for gross negligence or willful misconduct. To the extent allowed by applicable law, Google is liable only for its breaches of these terms or applicable service-specific additional terms. Google isn't liable for loss of profits, revenues, business opportunities, goodwill, or anticipated savings, indirect or consequential losses, punitive damages. Google's total liability arising out of or relating to these terms is limited to the greater of $1, $200, or 2, the fees paid to use the relevant services in the 12 months before the dispute. I wish I knew what any of that meant. Taking action in case of problems. Before taking action as described below, will provide you with advance notice when reasonably possible, describe the reason of our action, and give you an opportunity to fix the problem, unless doing so would cause harm or liability to a user, third party, or Google, violate the law or legal enforcement authorities' order, compromise an investigation, or compromise the operation, integrity, or security of our services. Removing your content. If any of your content